I was raised in corridors where footsteps echo longer than laughter, where silence is taught before speech, and where the heart learns to wait. From a young age I understood that choosing is a privilege wrapped in consequence, and love is never chosen lightly by a woman born beneath expectation. I have no hesitation in saying this when I looked at him, older, steadier, carrying years in his eyes. I felt time slow, as if my future had finally learned my name. He did not arrive like a storm, demanding to be seen. He arrived like dusk, patient and inevitable, softening the sharp edges of my restless thoughts. I had known boys who sparkled briefly and vanished, but he remained unafraid of my pauses, respectful of my guarded silences. I have no hesitation in saying this: his age was not a distance. It was a bridge, built from experience I did not yet have, but deeply needed. There is a particular loneliness in being watched your entire life, admired but never known. He saw me when I was unadorned by ceremony, when my voice trembled with doubt instead of duty. I felt no need to perform before him. I have no hesitation in saying this. The way he listened felt like devotion, and that devotion felt rarer than passion shouted too quickly. Suspense grew quietly between us, not in stolen touches but in withheld words. Each moment stretched, rich with what we chose not to rush. He understood restraint not as denial but as reverence. I have no hesitation in saying this. Waiting with him felt fuller than hurried love ever could, as though anticipation itself had learned how to breathe. I noticed how he carried his past without letting it weigh on me. His stories were not boasts, but confessions shaped by wisdom. He had failed, he had learned, and he had survived without bitterness. I have no hesitation in saying this. Loving someone who has already faced himself teaches you how to face your own reflection without fear. Where I was still becoming, he was already anchored. That did not make me smaller, it made me braver. He never tried to lead me away from my path, only to walk beside it, steady enough to let me run ahead when I needed. I have no hesitation in saying this: true strength does not pull, it stays. In his presence, romance was not loud. It lived in glances held a second longer than required, in hands that paused respectfully, in words chosen with care. Suspense lived there too, a delicious tension born of mutual patience. I have no hesitation in saying this: desire deepens when it is honored, not consumed. I was taught that love should be equal in years, symmetrical, easily explained. Yet my heart refused simplicity. It leaned toward depth, toward the man who knew the cost of promises, and still made them carefully. I have no hesitation in saying this. Age did not imbalance us. Intention balanced everything. There were moments I questioned myself, alone at night, wondering if the world would understand. But when dawn came, so did clarity. His consistency answered every doubt. I have no hesitation in saying this: certainty is quiet, and it does not ask permission to exist. He never rushed to claim me, never feared losing me. That confidence wrapped around me like a vow already kept. Suspense lingered, because he trusted time more than impulse. I have no hesitation in saying this: being chosen without urgency is its own kind of romance. I learned that an older man does not love with illusion. He loves with presence. He remembers details not to impress, but because he values continuity. I have no hesitation in saying this: feeling remembered is the most intimate form of touch. In loving him, I did not abandon youth, I refined it. My laughter softened. My hopes sharpened, my patience grew elegant. He never dimmed my light, he taught me how to aim it. I have no hesitation in saying this: Guidance offered without control is a rare gift. Our love unfolded like a letter written slowly, each sentence deliberate, each pause meaningful. Suspense lived in what we trusted would come, not what we demanded immediately. I have no hesitation in saying this. Faith in tomorrow is the most romantic belief of all. I felt protected, not confined. He guarded my heart without locking it away. In his eyes, I was never naive, only unfolding. I have no hesitation in saying this: respect is the soil where love roots deepest. Even now, when uncertainty visits me, I remember how he waits. Not passively, but faithfully. Waiting became our shared language. I have no hesitation in saying this: patience spoken fluently is irresistible. The world may measure love in milestones and mirrors, but I measure it in calm. In him, I found calm that did not dull me. I have no hesitation in saying this: peace can be passionate. I chose him not because he was older, but because he was ready. Ready to see me, to stand with me, to love without haste. I have no hesitation in saying this: readiness matters more than timing. Suspense remains, even now, because love does not end in certainty. It deepens in discovery. Each day reveals another layer of his quiet devotion. I have no hesitation in saying this: mystery, kept tender, never fades. I am still a princess of becoming, still learning the weight of my choices. Yet this one feels anchored in truth. I have no hesitation in saying this: my heart chose wisely. If you listen closely, you will hear it too. Not rebellion, not longing for guidance, but recognition. I have no hesitation in saying this. Sometimes love arrives older, simply because it has already learned how to stay. And so I stand by my choice with grace, with calm conviction, and with a heart unafraid. This is not a secret, not a scandal, not a phase. I have no hesitation in saying this. I chose him because forever sounded safer in his voice. There are days when I reflect on how quietly everything began, how nothing about us demanded attention, and yet everything about us held gravity. I was accustomed to noise shaped like admiration, but he offered me stillness shaped like truth. I have no hesitation in saying this: in that stillness, my heart learned to speak without fear of being corrected. He never treated my youth as something to be molded or corrected. Instead, he treated it as something sacred, unfolding at its own pace. His age did not instruct me, it sheltered me from unnecessary storms. I have no hesitation in saying this: love that protects without diminishing is the rarest kind of loyalty. Suspense lived in our conversations, in the way he paused before answering, allowing meaning to settle between us. He knew the weight of words and refused to waste them. I have no hesitation in saying this: when someone speaks carefully, it is because they know how deeply words can touch. I learned that romance does not always announce itself with fireworks. Sometimes it arrives like a slow melody that stays long after the music ends. With him, every shared silence felt intentional. I have no hesitation in saying this: silence chosen together is more intimate than noise shared carelessly. He had already learned the cost of impatience. That lesson shaped the way he loved me, with hands that never hurried and eyes that never wandered. I have no hesitation in saying this: being loved without fear of replacement teaches you how to trust fully. There were moments when the future felt heavy in my thoughts, when duty pressed close to my breath. He never offered escape, only companionship within reality. I have no hesitation in saying this: love that walks beside responsibility is stronger than love that runs from it. Suspense did not live in uncertainty with him. It lived in anticipation. We did not question whether we would grow closer, only how deeply we would discover one another. I have no hesitation in saying this: certainty does not kill romance. Carelessness does. He admired my ambition without attempting to guide it. He respected my choices even when they frightened him. I have no hesitation in saying this: respect that survives fear is proof of genuine affection. I felt seen not as an idea, not as a role, but as a woman learning herself. His experience did not overshadow me, it illuminated paths I might one day walk. I have no hesitation in saying this: wisdom shared gently never feels like power. In loving him, I learned that desire can be patient without becoming distant. Our restraint did not weaken passion, it sharpened it. I have no hesitation in saying this: what is waited for is often cherished longer. He never rushed to define us. He allowed our bond to breathe, to mature naturally. Suspense lived in that patience, glowing quietly between moments. I have no hesitation in saying this: love, allowed to grow, chooses its own perfect timing. I noticed how he remained consistent even when I was uncertain. He did not demand clarity from me before I found it myself. I have no hesitation in saying this: stability, offered without pressure, feels like freedom. There is romance in being understood without explanation. He sensed when I needed reassurance and when I needed space. I have no hesitation in saying this: attentiveness is the most tender form of devotion. His past did not intimidate me, it reassured me. Every year he carried was evidence that he knew how to endure. I have no hesitation in saying this: endurance is attractive because it promises staying. I realized that choosing him was not an act of rebellion, but an act of recognition. My heart recognized calm where it had known restlessness. I have no hesitation in saying this: peace is not passive, it is powerful. Suspense still exists because love is never finished. Every shared day reveals something new, something quietly extraordinary. I have no hesitation in saying this: familiarity does not erase mystery when curiosity remains alive. He does not compete with my future. He believes in it. He stands confident without needing to lead it. I have no hesitation in saying this: partnership begins where control ends. I learned to trust my instincts more deeply through him. He never doubted my intelligence or my resolve. I have no hesitation in saying this: being trusted teaches you how to trust yourself. Even now, when I imagine what lies ahead, I do not feel rushed. I feel prepared. He gave me that gift without demanding anything in return. I have no hesitation in saying this: love that strengthens your readiness is love worth choosing. The world may question what it does not understand, but my heart does not hesitate. It knows why it chose him. I have no hesitation in saying this: some truths do not need defense, only honesty. And so I continue forward with quiet confidence, with romance shaped by patience, and with suspense that promises depth rather than doubt. I have no hesitation in saying this: choosing an older man was choosing a love that knows how to last.